Greetings, welcome back to Motorsport Manager 2018, third season coming down to the end now. Only 2 races left in Cape Town and Sydney. We've got a narrow lead, we've got to protect it. So the last 2 races are going to be vital and we could have a thrilling finish to the year. Hopefully not too thrilling for the sake of my sanity. So let's get to it. Natalie Pinkham of Sky says, "You could have qualified better. We need to improve that for the next race." Okay, and pit crew just over 6 seconds once again. And we got another scouting deal. Let's take a look at our pit crew. Okay, we're not going to want these level 15 jack guys. Not going to want you. Let's see. 17 with 87 stamina on the front jack. Let's check that out for Tupi. Yeah, you would be worthwhile. And then on the tires, I think we're going to want those people as well. Yep. So we're going to hire... Oh, doggone it. Well, that misclick is a lovely example of why you should always save often. We're going to try this again, only actually hiring. Not hitting the reject button by mistake. Alright, let's sort out what we've got here. So, front jack. Tupi is now our top person out there. Out you go. And then on the rear jack, it's probably going to be Fedeschi now. Yeah, so that gives us a 17 in both places when Fedeschi is able to go, otherwise a 16. And then it's down to the tires, where we've got some tired people out there. But first of all, let's take a look at the jack people and who we want to keep. We want one backup on each spot. And see, a lot of these have decent tire amounts. The thing is, Vidal Miguez, I think, is actually our best backup there. Yeah. So we're going to keep him. And then on the front, we've got Luxton maybe. We've got Del Rosario. I think Del Rosario is our best choice there. So Luxton isn't of use anywhere else. Luxton can go. So that's one down. And then we've got to get our best people out here. And definitely the new hire, Schoenfeld, is going to be a star for us because of the versatile abilities. But in particular, he's going to be a new tire person for us. Let's put him out instead of Bardsley. So that's one of our tired people out. Then I think probably next best is right here in Meisner, even though stamina is not that great. Take what we can get and go out there in place of Luhuis. There's nobody else that's better. I'm going to swap out there. Now, for the reserve tire people, we have, and then one of the 13s. So Boudreau, Ritchie, Bogdan, and Weber. Well, I mean, because Ritchie and Bogdan are essentially the same. What's the... It's 14K, 12K. So we'll get rid of the more expensive Ritchie. And then I don't really have a use for Boudreau. Weber is going to keep because of the outstanding stamina. Vidal Miguez, Del Rosario, those are the backups. And then 1, 2, 3, we got 5 on the tires. And I'm just going to hang on to the extra person. Main reason to do that is just that Bogdan is good enough on the jack, just in case we happen to need a spare person that I don't think we need. So it gets us back down to 10.3 and back up to 5th on the pit crew. Some good improvements there. Glad to see that. And there's our repairs. Cape Town. Brakes and gearbox are going to be the vital ones. And we are working up that last set of brakes. In the meantime, we're pouring everything into part improvements. I think we're right where we want to be. Spoiler, gearbox, suspension, other spoiler. Wrong spoiler out there, don't I? Yeah. I don't want that. I want this one. There we go. So that's the two top spoilers. The top suspension, second one's already good. The two engines, already good. Gearbox, we'd like to get a second gearbox out there, but that'll have to wait. And then the top brake is already in, second brake is incoming. So yeah, I think we stick with this right here, and I'm probably going to pay for having had the wrong spoiler out there for sure. We'll get about half of this done before the race. More scouting and a new vote. No last place bonus payments. Of course, we're going to abstain because we don't plan on being around for it. And we're not even listed as a team that should naturally be in the plus or minus either. So we abstain. Looking like strong support so far. How comes the against votes? And it's voted down. Narrow vote, 6-5. But the bonus payments in the WTCR will continue. And that was rejected. Rumor that Claire Decker wants out. She is in fact considering offers. And willing to consider offers from us. Has a fever. Now, this is interesting because she's a good driver. You look at the 5 across the board. That might lower her asking price. Let's just see what she wants, because she's someone I've had my eye on. Wow, low price. This is gamey, but wages are not very important to me. We could get her for very cheap. And then when does her fever get up? 4 days. That's actually before the race. The question is, do I want to upset the apple cart this late in the year? And I think I do. Frankly, she's not actually that much better than Szabo, but she does have significantly higher marketability, and she would be cheaper. Like, the other thing is, if we look over the course of Szabo's contract, we're going to be paying him $600K a race. If we can get her for a lot cheaper, he could make up the cost to break the contract. So I'm just going to say, you know what, look, let's not throw good money after bad. Szabo was a good idea, but didn't work out. So let's bring her in to replace him. Let's do it. Especially while she's willing to take low amount of money. So if she says wages aren't very important, see if she'll take 200K. That might be too low, but, you know. Medium contract would prefer, doesn't mind who pays it. Okay, you pay it. Her status is fairly important. Let's see if she'll accept an equal status deal. Give her the bonus signing on fee. Alright, that's not very important, so we don't need to give her a qualifying bonus, but she wants the race bonus. Let's max her out on that. And I'm going to go up to 250K. I'm going to offer her that. I think she'd be a lot more likely to take that. So, I mean, when they're injured or whatever, that reduction in their ability affecting their cost, you know, I mean, it is a little bit gamey, but we've got the opportunity and she wants out. Let's go for it. We send out the offer and we're hoping for the best. And, of course, no change here. And she's going to take the deal. All right. So yeah, Hughes is going to bounce back from what he has, and with that racer bonus, I still think I want to keep him. You know, less than an hour left on that. And Szabo, say goodbye. So this is going to cost us like $4 million, knock us down to $20 million. We're going to be saving like $350,000 a race. So we're going to gain back this, you know, within a season. And there it is. Claire Decker, new driver. Fired? What are you thinking? This is ridiculous. Now, he has a right to be ticked, because I signed him for a long deal and didn't have him work very much of it. Should be the start of something great, says Claire Decker. She says she's not listening to offers anymore. And, yeah, $3 million a year. And she was previously working at Ivan Muller. She had, in 2017, 7 podiums and a win, 3 podiums and a win last year, or this year actually, and now she's going to try to win races for us. Let's see how that works. Now, in terms of our team, we have 57% marketability for the team, and with her in there, 68%. We got one more race to boost that before we have to sign a new sponsor. So that was most unexpected change, but I'm pretty happy with it. Still lots of scouting to do. All right, and they took Ayla Agren, who's gonna pay Agren more, and Agren is also probably a better driver, to be honest. 12s and 15s. Probably, yeah, Agren is a little bit better, but they're going to be paying her a lot more. Decker's a good deal. Definitely a good deal for us. Oh, if you would just get rid of that stupid cult thing, but you're not going to. I know. More scouting. First is better than 8th, most definitely. 51 laps, short laps. Gearboxes are the top thing, and Ultra and Supers, a rare race where Ultras are a possibility. Claire Decker loves the suspension. Lay Diffie says, we're picked to have a great time. Track suits our car down to the ground. They'd be amazed if Claire Decker doesn't walk away with a top prize. Suri says there's plenty of time left to catch Hughes. I doubt it. And Dennis DuPont says there's an outside chance of a podium. We're going to do our best to prevent that. Okay, now let's see what they think overall of our drivers. And they still think that they suck. Whatever. I do think we definitely made an upgrade when you consider the cost and the fact that I do think she's a little bit better than was Szabo. So definitely should free up some money for us. Let's make sure we have all the parts we want. Decker predicted 4th. Hughes predicted 3rd. There shouldn't be any changes to make here. So we have what we want. Take our 11th or above sponsor and we'll gain over $1 million if we hit that. It's going to be 25 degrees. So heavy rain in practice. How fun. We're not going to get much work in on the tires if that pans out. Softs will be the better tires for the temperature at least. Or super softs rather. So we'll want to keep an eye on that whole dynamic. Cape Town, of course, more of a road track, one of the more unique tracks around. And Decker's feedback is going to help us. She'll definitely get out there looking great for her first race, along with Svena Borg. They said heavy rain. We're not going to get that for a while. It is going to come. Now I've got a tough decision, I think, to make on the tires. 51 laps. Yeah. And I think we're going to want to go with, because it's not supposed to rain during the race, I think we're going to want to go with 2 supers. I don't think it's worth it to go ultras, just because they burn out so fast. Although it will push us further back. Not using them will push us further back, and probably not the best either. But I still think I'm going to sort of buck the normal tradition of you just do what you can to stay at the front. I'm going to go with supers, try to stay within striking distance, and then move up later when we make our pit stops. So I'm going to go with those. She wants all the weight in the front, pretty much. And something like that. And that is a bit of a risk, but also doing more pit stops than everybody else, which we might end up doing, that would also be a risk. So it's like there isn't a zero risk, let's do the safe thing and promote even, you know, option that I see. Both drivers properly on race trim. And Claire Decker, out on the track for the first time, dips below the halfway mark in form. Better than Svaneborg, though, that's for sure. We're just going to get as many laps in as we can before the rain hits. Looks like we'll be switching to inters at that point. I think with the slightly improved feedback, plus this being a short track, we could well hit the bonus for the level 3 trim. And that would be nice. So Super Soft's slightly heating up in 23-degree weather, and it's going to be 25 during the race. So we'd have to drive them slightly conservative as it is. If we had Ultras, we'd have to drive them really conservative. And one of the reasons I just never like using Ultras is, well, not never, but rarely, just because they're so sensitive to temperature. And they're really fast, but only for a short period. Super Softs are a little bit slower and have quite a bit more durability, so they don't drop off as much. Okay, too much weight in the front, move more weight to the back, that's fine. And here comes the rain. Let's see, where are we on the track? Yeah, it's getting wet quick, and it's going to be inners. We're coming in. Both of them coming in. And we did just get to our level 1 trim as well, so no reason to stay out on those. Average overall form for the drivers. Says good. They're great for the handling, and we don't like the speed balance. I'm going to say you want to switch it that way. Let's go, yeah, let's go there. Then a little bit more oversteer. That looks decent. Svaneborg. 82%. So both of them a little over 80%. Let's remember to switch out those tires. You wanted more weight in the rear. Make a couple a little bit smaller changes there. That should work. So a couple of lengthy pit stops here, but hopefully they'll be worth it. And we're just going to zoom through now this section where it's going to be wet. Some of the other cars staying out on the dry tires, which that may work out for them and it may not. certainly won't work out in terms of getting more laps. More trim. Good. Glad you like the new ballast. Both drivers up to medium knowledge. And Svaneborg, I did exactly what you told me to do. Had a feeling you would want it more the other way, but you told me to go that way, so I did. Still the only cars out on wet tires. Both drivers liking the speed. Well, let's just hold on a minute here. It's drying out quick. And yeah, we're at level 2 plus in race trim. We've hit the enters. Let's come in and try to get that level 2 on super softs. I think this is the time for it with how fast the car is drying, or track's drying out rather. Okay. Well, Decker's almost there, despite her poor driving. 95%. We've just got to nail the handling, which went from great to great. So let's try the other side of that. And we should have plenty of tires to go ahead and switch on to fresh ones. If we've got to switch tires, let's switch to the good ones. Well, obviously we've got to make a major change in our ballast. Let's look at the others as well. We want a little bit more oversteer. More oversteer, more acceleration. That's where we want to go with that. And then, yeah, you're going to be way down there. Okay. You know what? Was that? Yep, it was more oversteer. Okay, I was just second guessing myself on whether I had seen that properly, so we'll try it again. Gonna be at least there. That's a little bit too close. We'll try that. Yeah, that should be good. And fresh tires for you as well. Question is, do I want to go for a start and stop here with Decker, or do I want to get that level 3 trim? I think I want the level 3 race trim. I'm going to get that, but then also that level 2 super soft if I can get it. If I can get that, then it would definitely be better than the Ultras. Svaneborg down to 10th. Alright, so when Svaneborg comes by again, it's going to be over. I think we're going to get the race trim, and that we're not, there's a couple of nice comments, that we're not going to get the tires, but we could. It's not out of the question. Svaneborg halfway around now. Nope, we didn't make it. But nice final lap by Svaneborg puts her up to 3rd. Our practice showing is going to be good. That'll make the fans happy. Both drivers liking the way the car is going now. Feeling pretty good after that session. see. Let's take a look at where ComToyu and AMG finished up. Not very high. Suri was 8th. Let's see, Scheider down here. Auer there. Yeah, they didn't have a great practice. So, knock on wood, it looks like we're set up pretty well here in Cape Town. So we've got a marriage proposal for a new driver. Georgi driving well, and they say we were okay. 3rd and 7th is just okay? You're pretty picky. Nice weather for qualifying. Super Softs and Inter is the only thing available for Decker. Or for Hughes, for that matter. Okay, our cars are not quite on yet. We got up to 97%. We need to get the speed down, and we were great, great, and then great. Let's see. I think I need to tweak a little bit more oversteer, and then obviously this has got to come down. Yep, want it to be about there. Okay, so well, that would be slightly higher. What if I... Let's try that. I think that's going to be as close as anything. Let's give it a shot. Now, no water expected. Cool day. Good track conditions. 96. And we need to... We have poor. Very poor. And then great. So I don't know which way to go on this. I'm just going to move it down a little more and see what they say. Trying to get these final adjustments made. As Hughes goes out with Decker for the first time. Hughes driving very well. Decker is quality as well at the moment. I'd love for them to be taking their laps that matter right now, but first things first. Decker improving quickly, and Hughes holding steady in the mid-8s. Okay, we have time for another one. Decker says, yeah, you're going to need it. Okay, so this was excellent there. And this was great. Okay, so we need a little bit more on the high speed. Now on the handling. Great. 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 Okay, so I want to move it just a little bit more even towards the oversteer. But this needs to be that way. There we go, but then this is going to be off. Still want to give it a try because I can always dial this back in via some other method. I want to see if that's, if that's any better. And handling wise, I'm not sure it will be. Whatever, I'm giving it a whirl. Hughes. Cornering is off, but everything else is fine. Okay, poor. Well, this was great. So I just need to bring... Yeah, I just need to bring that back. So we want to be about there. And if that's right, it's going to throw these off, so I'll have to bring them back in line. Both drivers needing that little bit extra. And hopefully this is the round that gives me the information I need so they can run a fast time. Boy, 9.2 for Hughes, 9.3 for Hughes, while Decker now working in Agren, setting the mark now for Ivan Mueller. Closer, 98%, not quite there on the speed. Okay, so all we need to do here is get that speed up a little bit without moving these. That's easier said than done. So if I do this way, then I offset it. I don't know if that's going to work or not. But, I mean, it could be close enough. Let's check the handling. Good. Excellent there. Excellent here. Excellent here. Okay, so it can handle being a little bit higher. What if I went like this? Yeah, and that just brings this right back in. I think that's where I want to be, right there. Switch to fresh tires. You've got a little bit of extra time, but you're going to have a long pit stop, so I'm okay with that. Let's make sure you both get out there. And Hughes, you're running a 9.5. I do not want you to have a chance for that to get worse. Now, assuming Decker's going to be in here for a while, let's make her adjustments. 98%. Okay, we need more speed out of her without messing up the others. We've seen this movie before. Let's see, so I don't want to make that go any lower. I think I'm doing the same thing here. Nope. Do I want to punch it again? I think I do. I think that's what I want. And again, 25 seconds, so go ahead and get out there. Okay. So Hughes is set up for a strong finish. Decker, not so much. Still should have plenty of time. Look at Hughes, 9.9. Even though things may be a little bit early in terms of getting optimal grip. Why I'm ever not going to complain about that. And Decker's form bouncing back. So this could finish up very well for us if one thing we needed to have happen is Hughes needs to get out of this traffic. Let's cool her down a bit. And stick with Hughes until he crosses the line. There we go. He's perfect. Let's fix Decker. And Hughes has gone around the competition around him. He's driving perfectly with perfect tires as he starts his qualifying lap. You cannot ask. Come on. Doggone it. I couldn't get my mouse to move. I was trying to move it. Oh well. Decker not expect to do that great anyway. Hughes is who we're pinning out. Oh my goodness. Almost a second slow. That's not what we wanted. Pick it up, Jake. And pretty much the same time there for Decker. Look, 1.8. We are not even close. This is a disaster. We are not... We're just not fast enough. Now, he did improve it to 15th. But, I mean, Decker's even slower. So whatever happened here, we are not at the pace that we would like to be. Now, maybe they all, like, focused on qualifying or whatever, but 15th and 21st, we needed to be better for qualifying, and we weren't. We've got to move up. Probably focused more on ultras and qualifying, but regardless, I'm usually able to overcome that. And I couldn't hear, so that's a very worrisome finish, even forgetting about the money that we're leaving on the table. Nagy first for Ivan Muller, and they picked up Agren. So yeah. Well, we've just got to hope, obviously, that we can pick it up after this. You see, AMG finished 4th. ComToU, thankfully, only finished in 11th. And where else? Oh, 6th and 11th. AMG was 4th and 16th. Everybody did better than we did. Yeah, we're cool. We can be as cool as we want, but Campos needs to get their act together, etc. We have to perform better than that for sure. Ha 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 ha. It's raining. It wasn't supposed to rain and it's raining. And I got an Inters bonus. What do y'all think about that? Okay, so rain is, yeah, we're starting on Inters. We are most definitely starting on Inters. We'll go Inters and race trim. We did get the level 3 race trim. We're going to do tire changes and race trim for Hughes. And both cars, 100% for Decker. 98 triple excellence for Hughes. Okay. So this is all of a sudden looking better simply because of the rain. Because based on the way practice went, I got to think we're more prepared for the rain than everybody else is. Here we go. Everybody start. Look, Nagy and Agren, both for Ivan Muller, both starting in the front row, both with a perfect 10. Oh, you can all just go away. Hughes with a 10. And Decker with a 6. All right. We've got to move up. Let's make it happen. And, of course, by going all out, I'm risking crashing here. When you go out in the rain, bad things can happen. Oh, bad start for Hughes. But I'm risking a lot worse things if I don't, or not a lot worse things, but I'm risking other problems if I don't. Oh boy, who's that off to the side? It's like Berman. Yep. So Hughes working on moving up, and Decker up to 17th. So we are making a move. How much of a move? That remains to be seen. Now, yeah. I mean, Comptoyu and us are in this very, very early going, jockeying for the top spot. Hughes at 9.7, Decker at 5.2. Whoa, what was all that? There could be collisions here. There could be drive-through penalties. There could be crashes. Right now, we're inching our way up through the middle of the pack. I definitely feel like Hughes is faster than a lot of the cars in front of him. He's just got to make it happen here. It'd be particularly nice if he could make it happen and get by hour. Just kind of dancing around in front of him. There we go. That's 10th. Oh, 11th. Alright, we're going to back off to push on the tires. Definitely going to keep our pedal on the gas. Decker back in 19th is not making a lot of progress. Our hopes may once again be pinned on Jake Hughes. And now we're going to go down to high on the fuel, so we don't fry that too much. Oh, Hughes locks up, even better, but then accelerates hard around that turn to grab 9th position. Decker in 16th and driving subpar right now. And Hughes trying to make another move. Got a little bit longer to push on the tires, and then we're going to have to go back to neutral. It is just not happening for Decker. Seems no matter what I do with that driver's spot, Hughes does well, and whoever the other driver is, nah. Hughes slipping, but we've got to go neutral. We have no choice now. The tires are going to fry. And we want to get to at least lap 20 on these tires, if we can. Let's see how well they take to, how much they're going to burn up. I may want to keep them neutral for a while if tire wear is going to become an issue. 10th and 17th. Oriola coming into the pits. Going in for wets. That's a mistake. There isn't time for that. The temperature isn't. I think it is anyway. I don't think there's going to be enough laps. Maybe I'm wrong. Because it's going to be better for wets, but not hugely. It's not going to get totally soaked. And then it's going to come back down for inters. No, I'm staying. It's looking like maybe 4% a lap. Yeah, I think I want to stick mostly on neutral for the tires. And just, ride this out. If the others want to switch on to wets, let them. I'm going to stake my season that we're going to be good enough on inters. I don't want to go too much farther without taking a look at the fuel. Race leader Ayla Agren locks up, and now Hughes does. Then he zooms around the corner. Oh, Decker runs into Auer. No action taken. Okay, and she's up to 13th. Okay, so that worked to our benefit. Bunch of cars going to wets. And the wets are faster here right now. I just don't think they're going to be enough faster to make it worth the pit stop. Hughes down to 7 on the form, and Decker holding in the 4s. Hughes, I don't think, is fast enough to move up. So this is going to be his last lap, I think, pushing the fuel. Yeah, I think we want to stick on neutral on the tires. And he may lose a spot here, but I'm not too concerned about that. You see, most of the cars are sticking out on inters, and I think that's to their benefit. All of us that are doing it. We're not going to be able to ride the whole thing on neutral anyway. For the tires. Decker back up to 14th. Okay, 1.43 on the fuel as we make the switch. And as it stands now, Comtow, you would take the lead by 4 points. Ivan Mueller would be well behind, as would AMG. Boy, what a pack there around Hughes as he tries to get by Raquelme. Can't quite do it. Tries to switch to the inside here, though. That's the right line for this turn, and now he's up in 6th. Decker still hanging where she was. We're not gaining a lot of fuel here. Still not quite around to the finish. But yeah, I think we're sticking on medium for the tire, or for the fuel for now. Martin running into Hughes. And Martin will be flagged for it. Oh, they are right on Hughes' tail, too. And this is the wettest the track is going to get. Right here. It should start drying out eventually. Up to 5th as Martin takes his stop. Raquelme locks up, which will help us, but yeah. Who was that? That was Robert Huff. Zooming by Hughes. Like he wasn't even there. There's no question that we're struggling against the other top cars here. The idea of winning this race is not looking good. Now we're going to switch back to neutral. kind of don't have a choice. 6th and 13th. Just 2 points behind ComToyu, but we need a lead going into that last race. Hughes should move up. Barring something ridiculous, he should move up from here because of his pit stop advantage. I would like to still take one stop. Take a look, yeah, and he loses another position. Yeah, 28 to 30 laps. So we would have to get this. We'd have to get to like 25, roughly. We'd have to get it up there out there quite a bit. I don't know if we can make it. I think I'm probably going to end up just stay this on neutral and just stretch out the tires as far as I can. And I still don't know if that's enough. Hughes slides by Hamola. Now the track's going to slowly go back to where Inters are in the lead. Because the wets have just not gained enough. None of them, I mean, Oriola's up in 15th, but none of them really gaining enough to justify that stop. And I'm not going to change anything up here, so away we go. 6th and 12th. 2 points behind ComToyu. Keep doing what you're doing, Decker. We're hoping for brakes at this point. Hughes' pit stop and hoping for brakes. At least she's driving better, though. She did get by Richard now, up to 11th. She's by one of the AMG drivers. Was behind both of them earlier. So she is very slowly trying to make a move. Obviously getting both drivers in the top 10 would really help us any point we can get. And just as important, any point we can take away from the others. Still lots of close racing around Hughes, who ultimately lost that spot to Huff on that burst around the turn that he made and has not gotten it back. DuPont shortly ahead of that. Really, Ogren, Giovinardi, and Suri kind of running away with it. Ooh, slid around Huff there pretty dangerously, but is going to get away with it. So Hughes up to 5th. And that would give us an equal share of the lead going into the final race if it held. And Hughes given a penalty for causing a collision when it was Huff's fault, according to him. Great. Oh, I cannot emphasize how much I did not need that. And Hughes comes out in 14th. Decker up to 10th. Hughes 14th, and now wave goodbye to ComToyu because they're way ahead of us. Now Hughes' fast pit stop is probably just going to pop him back up to not even as high as he was. Stretching out the tires, though, is still the play here. But we'll ride around with Decker, who's driving well at 7.3 and looking for a way to get by, who is that? Timo Shader. Bracketed between Shader and Auer. Holding her own. Looking for the spot here, and I think we got it. Alright, there's Claire Decker, gradually improving as the race goes on. Into the upper 7s now, up to 9th. So she's trying to save the day. I'm pretty sure that's more than we would have been able to say for Zolt Szabo. Her tires are even better than Hughes. She's a smoother driver, so she'll get more out of those. +2 seconds behind Raquelme. And overall, it does not look like she is gaining. Raquelme now under investigation. Oh, cutting a corner. And is cleared. How nice. Now Hughes is holding off Berman and is a second plus behind Nagy. Looks like gradually gaining, but nothing to do there at the moment. Decker locks up, works her way out of it. Both drivers now at 35% on the tires. And Decker doesn't have to go quite as far because on her next set, the super soft, yeah, she can get more out of it. I'd like to have her get maybe just down to where it's red and then come in, where Hughes is going to have to burn his tires a bit. Now he is coming up, though, right now on some traffic, so if he could get by Nagy and Richard, that would be really helpful. Have to happen pretty soon, though, for it to really matter. Boy, Decker at 9.3 and starting to catch up to Raquelme. The track starting to dry out now. We're going to need to be switching fairly soon, whether we want to or not. Yeah, and these cars all went for a second pit stop. They're really in trouble now. Just sort of took themselves out of the race with their pit strategy. Let's see, Decker. I don't see any reason to wait. The way the track's drying out. Nope, you're going to go. You're going to switch. 11% risk, 12-second pit stop. Make it happen. And Hughes is going to come in next time around. Track's just getting too dry to not do it then. Decker, a good bit stop, 11.2 seconds. Out in 18th. Driving perfectly. And looks like came in a bit early for the weather. So maybe I misjudged that just a hair. But now all the others coming in, so we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens to Hughes. He goes in 13th. What can he do in terms of picking up spots? This is the time when he's got to make his move. And he pops out. In 13th again. So we are 11th and 13th, but there's 3 cars that have not come in yet that will have to. And let's see, who is... Yeah, it's Decker right behind Hamola. We've got some tire to use. This is the time to use it. We've also got some fuel, come to think of it. Where's Hughes at? Okay, Hughes has some distance around him. I really need Decker to make this pass. Nope, we're not catching up that much. So we're gonna leave that be. Okay, we are now 8th and 10th. Now, assuming that we could hold this, we would still lose the top spot to CYOT. Doing fine compared to everybody else. Ivan Mueller popping up, but they're far down in the pack. Suri in 2nd for CYOT. And then 4th is DuPont, their other driver. Now, the thing about them is, I don't think they can finish this race on Ultras. I'm pretty sure they can't. So if we finish the race, they have to come back in. That's our play. That's our play to get back in this and have the lead at the end of this race. Both of our drivers driving at around a 9, so that's good news. A nice little lock up there by Decker, I believe. At least she's the one who can sort of afford it, but still. Yeah, I'm going to have her give this another shot. A lot is riding on how that goes. Now, Hughes is making up ground on Scheider. So maybe we can make a move at that when that gets caught up. Only half a second behind. Come on, Claire. Your form's fading a bit. Make it happen. Find a way. You weren't quite close enough there. I'm going to have to back off the fuel soon. Yep. It's not going to happen. Well, that's unfortunate. She is a little bit faster than Hamola. Just wasn't able to make it around. Like, not a huge amount faster. So we're stuck behind waiting. Meanwhile, Hughes, of course, is going to be sticking on neutral for his tires the whole way. The only tool he's got to push in is the fuel. And Decker has now basically used all the fuel she's got to burn, but Hughes, not yet. So, still, there are 4 cars that are going to have to come in and pit. And if we were to finish 4th and 6th and get by them all, I would have no complaints. Wouldn't put us on the podium, but it would do what we need done. That would mean Giovinardi, right now, I would say, is the likely winner of the race. DG Sport can have all the points they want. Robert Huff running wide. And that gets Decker a spot up to 7th. That means she could be on the podium, in fact. Right behind Hamola and Raquelme. It would be so nice to get ahead of them. And Hughes now less than a second behind. Let's see how he does here. I may want to hit the gas and try to get by Shader. The second gap up there to Huff. Yeah, he's right behind. He may be able to make it on his own. Like, he's right there. He's driving at 10. Never going to have a better time to use the fuel. Let's go. Make it happen, Jake. Oh, good grief. I'm really surprised that he didn't even make anything that resembled a move there. Switch back to medium. See what happens. Decker is 7th, but threatening here as Raquelme's tires are, the Ultras are really starting to lose their bite now. Hamola got past. If she could make a pass here. Stick with him. It's all a matter of time at this point. Raquelme's going to have to pit anyway. Hughes. Yeah, sticking right behind Shader, but has not been able. Yeah, well, I gave you the gas. You didn't do anything with it, Jake. You're right there. Move. There you go. Now we're going around the turn the wrong way, but if you can... Oh, we almost had it. Pulls alongside again, and that should do it right there. Please. Oh, for Pete's sake. Back and forth, but I think he got it now. Yes, he's up to 9th. Decker? Nope, still behind Raquelme. Still. Oh, Hughes lost it again. About to say if we could maintain those 2 spots. There he is again. I think he's going to hold it. You know what? He has the fuel. Let's just use that to try to gain some space. Okay. Decker still 7th. Who's that behind? That is Huff. Huff has recovered and doesn't like the situation. It looks like both drivers are really going to have to go into the red to finish this, if I'm reading their tires right. So I'm definitely going to keep them both on neutral for the whole rest of it. Decker up to 10.0. But I've got nothing now that I need to conserve for tires. She doesn't have any fuel to burn. Well, very little perhaps. Can you improve your driving and passing to get by Raquelme, please? How about that? Oh boy, looked like we're going to get inside there. Right there, just make the pass. Just can't quite do it. Now, and there's that infamous inside line on that turn. I'd really like to give her something to help, but I can't. But I think we've got it now. That's 6th. Now I got to try to chase down Hamola, who has moved a few seconds ahead. It's a nice little insulation, though, with Huff behind there. And Hughes is catching up to Huff. Like, this whole pack is slowing down people. These, I'm gonna slow this down because we're gonna have some pit stops soon. And Hughes 29 seconds back. You know what? I'm gonna boost you until you get up to about a second behind. Yep, there comes Suri into the pits. This is the critical moment. And Suri comes out right behind Hughes on faster tires. Now Hughes is definitely going to keep that acceleration on, try to hold this off as long as he can. Probably not going to work, but that's what we're going with. While Decker up to 5th. Now if we held 5th and 8th with Suri having pit, okay, now we're back up to a 14-point lead. We still would lose the race to them because of DuPont, but once DuPont comes in, here comes Ogren. Giovanardi now in the lead. DuPont still out there. And Hughes is still holding it off. Yorgi goes wide further down the field. Looks like it's about to go away. Yep. There's Suri. And we're about out of fuel to burn anyway. So, medium. Fourth and 8th. All right, losing the race but winning the season at this point. Well, let's wait on DuPont. See what DuPont's going to do. Answer, DuPont's finally going to come in. Here comes Decker. Podium positioning with 12 laps to go. Huff right behind. How far back does DuPont drop? Out of the points for now. And there we go. Now that would give us a 30-point lead. This is probably not all going to hold, but if it did, we would be in a very strong position to win going into Sydney. Really, there'd be only 2 teams that could even potentially catch us. AMG just within the envelope, and yeah, beautiful. They are right behind, yeah, Ogren's right behind Decker, and we have some fuel I can burn here. So I'm going to burn it. Got at least a 10th to burn. (10 to 11 laps to go here. So I could go up to about 0.35. And really struggling still to keep it. But we are so far. And every turn that we get around ahead of Ogren is a big win. DuPont's up to 11th. Suri in 6th. I think that's about as far as I can go. I've got to push the tires now some with Hughes, get that temperature back up. There's not going to be much left of his tires by the time he comes in. Want to get them up to that first marker, and then we'll back off again. Nine laps to go. And now we'll switch back to neutral. It's 8.7. Too bad that didn't coincide, but he's still going after it. Can he get by Huff? That would be big if he could. 8.9. He's got a little bit of fuel. Let's use it. And there goes Ogren, goes by, finally. Can Hughes compensate for that loss of points? 7 laps to go, and he's going to drive the final 6 on bad tires. Got to turn it off now. Yeah, I went too far. Went too far with the fuel there. He's going to run out. Eventually. Decker's tire is also going to run low. Suri is going to get by. Let's see. We do have a little bit of fuel. Let's use it. Because Suri's tires are not great themselves. If we can hold this off a little more, who knows? That's probably about how much I have. Okay, where are we at? Still winning the race. But if Suri gets by Decker, that may no longer be the case. And if you look up here at Giovinardi, 24% on the tires, you know, lots of cars getting low on tires as we try to finish this up. Decker driving great, thankfully. So is Hughes. Both of them driving fantastic. It's almost like they know what's at stake here. 4 laps to go. Yeah, Hughes is going to have almost nothing left by then. Up and down, he loses it. She loses it, rather. Decker passed by Suri. Still a 3-point win in the race. Where is DuPont? 10th, okay. But lots of cars here that could pit, move them up. Everybody, like almost everybody in the top 10 really frying it right now. Even the ones that are on ultras there with 2 stops. Oh, look at that. Look at Decker getting the pass back. Wasn't seeing that happen, and they're battling for it now. It is not at all out of the question that that battle could determine the winner of this race, but Decker loses it. Or not just win, not the winner of the race, rather, but the winner of the promotion, the winner of the championship. And Giovinardi is going to come in. Which means more points for all of us. We win the race by 5 points. That's how that works out. We are 4th and 5th now. Oh, believe me, I'm very aware. I almost never take them down that low. 9%. Decker, okay, we're going to slow this down. Final lap, and Decker has a little bit of fuel to burn. Let's just see if we can, there we go. There we go. Now, Hughes has some fuel to burn as well. Let's just use it to try to stay ahead of everybody. And I've got to back off with Decker, even though, you know, right there. Got by temporarily. Now, inside corner there. We're not going to have it here. And then lost it again. Oh man, what a race. If Decker's tires weren't dead, they are, so it's a moot point, but if they weren't dead, we would have gotten that. And Hughes drops to 8th behind Shader. We're going to lose the race by one thing. There's Decker in 4th. Hughes in 8th. Unhappy with it. Well, that one was all about the strategy because we could easily have done worse. Shader slips by us. And what did we solve that race? We solved nothing. It's all going to come down to Sydney. Mola with the win for DG Sport. Nobody cares. Well, I'm sure DG Sport cares. Their fans care. Homola cares. But for the championship, the grand scheme of things, do we have any cheaters today? Any cheaters to penalize? 10-second penalty for Raquelme. And all we've got is the drive-through penalties, and yeah, we each got one. That did not help us at all. Hughes is first, Decker fifth in the standings. Okay, we have a 16-point lead on ComToyu, 36 on AMG, and it's down to those three teams because no matter what, Ivan Muller and W Racing have been eliminated by a single point. Very unlikely for AMG to take it. We have to be competitive with ComToyu in order to win the championship in Sydney. That's what it comes down to. Moto Hamo on the win. Agrin and Sui round out the podium. Our and AMG are a good match. They just need some wins. All of that true, and we have a fan. So we come in fourth. Boost marketability. 7.9 form for Decker. Very nice. And one of her better finishes of the year. One of her stronger performances of the year. Mechanic relationship falls despite an 8.4 for Hughes. His best driver performance of the year. And I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that it took driving that well and burning the tires and everything just to finish in the top 10. We're kind of struggling going into this final race. Make some more money. And our brakes have arrived, so we'll be taking a look at that as we head towards Sydney. It's all come down to this. Who gets the win? Who can we hold off ComToyu Racing in the land down under? That's what the next race will be about. Till then, thanks for watching, everybody. More Motorsport Manager will continue.